So you have a tender rate and you love overlanding. You have plans to do it big on the trails and some super glamping. One ideas, deep news and reviews, a podcast the first rate and here just for you. You don't have to think about it, join us and be about it. Something interesting we want to hear about it, come on let's talk about it. Welcome to Waypoint Overland's Random Waypoints podcast.
Sponsored by MIDLAND Communication for Every Adventure, the industry leader in radio communication technology and innovation for over 50 years. Sponsored by MyMedic. Sponsored by Tembo Tusk. Sponsored by Trail Rated Coffee Company.
Always remember, the opinion you follow should be your own. Just consider the things stated here to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online.
Hi, my name is Phil from Waypoint Overland, and you're listening to Random Waypoints. All right, so here we go. Welcome to another episode of the Random Waypoints podcast. We'll be doing an episode every week, so like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss an episode. This week on Waypoints, we talk about free camping in national forests. And on Random Lists, I give my top 5 recommendations for an overlander visiting Washington State. So stay tuned for the whole show. But first, let's take a look at the news.
During this segment, we'll cover various topics with a connection to overlanding in some way. It could be land use news regarding the national parks or the Bureau of Land Management. We'll keep you up to date on any auto industry news when it pertains to relevant and potential overlanding vehicles. There will be camping and outdoor industry news, as well as photography and video, fishing, hiking, and on and on. Now, here's the news.
For off-roaders looking to go further off the grid, Ford is debuting the new 2022 Ford Bronco Everglades Special Edition. Bronco Everglades, available as a 4-door model, kicks things up a notch with factory-installed features such as a snorkel, integrated front bumper-mounted winch, and all the off-road equipment in the Bronco Sasquatch package. Bronco Everglades introduces a class-exclusive signature snorkel. Designed and engineered by Ford, the snorkel, which runs up the passenger side A-pillar, optimizes vehicle performance in dust, snow, and water by raising the engine air intake above nasty trail conditions. Front and rear axles, transfer case, and transmission also offer raised vents for improved water fording. Combined with these design changes leads to water fording capabilities of 36.4 inches. For situations when Bronco Everglades or another vehicle needs extra traction beyond what the tires and engine can provide, a heavy-duty modular front bumper by Ford Performance with Xeon 10S worn winch featuring 10,000-pound capability and a 100-foot synthetic line is at your disposal. Everglade also comes standard with a protective safari bar, rock rails, and the same steel bash plates found on Black Diamond and Badland Bronco models. A unique carbonized gray grille with gloss black Bronco lettering enhances its functional appearance. The Sasquatch package features 17-inch carbonized gray-painted alloy wheels with 35-inch Goodyear mud terrain tires. Bronco Everglades is easy to clean after a weekend on the trails with standard marine-grade vinyl seats and rubberized washout flooring. New urban green accents provide a subtle color touch on grab handles, air register vents, and seat stitching. In addition to mid-package content, Bronco Everglades features a class-exclusive 12-inch Sync 4 system with Ford Power-Up over-the-air software updates, a unique combination based on customer feedback. Its 2.0-liter EcoBoost delivers 300 horsepower and 325 foot-pounds of torque, the most torque from a 4-cylinder gas engine in its class, and is paired to a class-exclusive Select Shift 10-speed automatic transmission with advanced 4x4 system. The new 2022 Bronco Everglades is available in 5 exterior colors, including Everglades exclusive low-volume desert sand, plus eruption green, Area 51, Shadow Black, and Cactus Gray. Bronco Everglades will join the Bronco lineup of Built Wild 4x4 SUVs this summer. Ordering begins in March, exclusively for existing Bronco reservation holders. Pricing will start at $53,000 plus $1,495 destination and delivery charges. It's already mid-February, so let's look at some upcoming events. The 2022 Truck Camper Adventure Rally will be held in Quartzsite, Arizona, February 10th through 13th. Like previous boondocking in the desert rallies hosted by the Truck Camper Adventure, this outdoor camping event will be held at the Roadrunner Wash Bureau of Land Management area 6 miles south of Quartzsite. The owners of both slide-in and chassis-mounted campers, including those who own do-it-yourself and vintage restored campers, are welcome. Only truck camper owners may participate in the rally. Sorry, no other type of RVs will be allowed. Like previous rallies, no admission will be charged to attend the 2022 Truck Camper Adventure Rally. Instead, a voluntary donation-only raffle will be held Saturday, February 12th to support the event. No more than 2 tickets can be purchased per person, with the typical donation being $10 per ticket. Prizes for the raffle will be provided by sponsors of the rally. The Maine Winter Romp is February 17th to February 20th. The Maine Winter Romp is an informal annual gathering of Land Rover owners and enthusiasts hosted by Bruce Fowler. Set in around Benton, Maine over President's Weekend, Maine Winter Romp provides a non-competitive opportunity to test your rover and driving skills in conditions that can be extreme. The event is generally non-damaging, though course accidents can happen, and is open to drivers of all skill levels. There is no charge for the event itself, but the group does meet and eat at various locations and establishments during the event. Winter Romp is not affiliated with any Land Rover club, but clubs are invited to participate. Death Valley Dark Sky Festival is February 25th through 27th. Death Valley offers some of the best stargazing in America. The International Dark Sky Association has designated Death Valley National Park a gold-tiered dark sky park, which is the highest rating of darkness. During the annual Dark Sky Festival, visitors are invited to come explore the night sky and the unique park landscapes to better understand wonders beyond our world. This event is a collaboration between Death Valley National Park, Death Valley Natural History Association, NASA, and many other organizations. Event night activities include evening programs, night sky photography meetups, and a star party. Day activities include guided hikes, ranger talks, family programming, and an exploration fair. Nighttime programming will be throughout the festival, and daytime programming will be Saturday and Sunday. Some indoor activities may have an occupancy cap due to COVID-19 restrictions. Schedules will be available at Furnace Creek Visitor Center during the festival. This festival is usually a busy time in the park, so we recommend making reservations early. Several camping and lodging options are available. Midwest Overlanding and Off-Road Expo at Ozark Empire Fairgrounds is April 8th, 9th, and 10th. The Midwest's only indoor event for adventure travel enthusiasts. Vendors ranging from premium overland camping and adventure motorcycling, off-roading vehicle parts, power sports equipment, competitive outdoor sports equipment, kayaking, hiking, survival amenities, live product demonstrations, truck accessories, and more. Who better to get great ideas from than people with the same interests? This expo is a beehive of inspiration. Just take a walk through the parking lot to see hundreds of amazing rigs, concepts, and do-it-yourself experts are all happy to share their ideas. Easter Jeep Safari is April 9th through April 17th. Registration begins at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, February 3rd for club members and February 8th for the public. You'll need to register on the website and create a vehicle in your profile before you'll be able to register for the safari events and trails. The Easter Jeep Safari consists of trail rides, mostly day-long trips, departing from Moab, Utah throughout the 9-day-long event. The official event is hosted by the Red Rock Four-Wheelers, one of the local four-wheel drive clubs of Moab. Participants provide their own four-wheel drive vehicle, take care of their own food, and non-alcoholic beverages for the trip. Since 2010, the adventure motorcycling nonprofit Backcountry Discovery Route, or BDR, has created 10 trans-state routes for dual sport and adventure motorcycle travel. Now, BDR announces its 11th route, the Wyoming Backcountry Discovery Route, produced in partnership with BMW USA and Wyoming Office of Outdoor Recreation. The BDR organization's Wyoming BDR was released February 1st and includes GPS tracks, a digital map, and travel resources at the website. This will be followed by a printed waterproof map produced in collaboration with Butler Motorcycle Maps. Additionally, a documentary film directed by Sterling Novin and produced by BDR will be available. On the Wyoming Backcountry Discovery Route, riders will test their skills and endurance on a 950-mile backcountry tour of Wyoming spanning from the northern border of Colorado to the southern border of Montana. The tracks wind through 5 mountain ranges and explore vast high desert regions on public dirt roads and primitive double track. Expert scenic views, endless forest roads under a canopy of trees, high desert terrain, flowing curves, rocky expert-only sections, and alpine elevations reaching 11,000 feet. Riders will traverse 2 major rim escarpments and pass through many seldom visited areas and historic towns. The route regularly throws unexpected challenges at riders, and almost every section includes some technical riding. Wyoming BDR is the most remote of all the BDRs, so preparedness is key to a successful Wyoming BDR adventure. The Wyoming BDR has been developed in partnership with the Wyoming Office of Outdoor Recreation. Local governments in 7 different counties along the route supported the project and embraced BDR's mission of helping to boost local economies with a sustainable new form of tourism. This BDR route is projected to bring riders from across the country and around the world to Wyoming in the coming years. And not just to the usual tourist hotspots, but to rural communities that will benefit from this positive economic impact. Now, let's move on to Random Lists.
Random Lists is all about lists Waypoint Overland has created on an array of topics, such as top 5 national parks, top 10 trails in the United States, top 10 fill in the blank. I think you get it. Some lists will be pure fun, and others very informational. But they all will have a connection to overlanding in some way. We're very interested in hearing your suggestions for upcoming lists in the comments. Now, here's our random list.
This week on Random Lists, I give my top 5 recommendations for an overlander visiting Washington State. These are the suggestions I give most often when someone tells me they're traveling here. First, I have Skagit Valley Tulip Festival in Skagit Valley. You have to mark your calendars for the Skagit Valley Tulip Festival. It'll be overrun with tulips, and when they arrive, the region will quickly transform into one of the most beautiful in the state. For the entire month of April, the Skagit Valley Tulip Festival will play host to literally millions of tulips, and there's plenty to see outside of tulip season. Visit anytime for scenic drives through the valley, which is one of the most agriculturally diverse areas west of the Cascades. Up next is Paradise in Mount Rainier. If there was ever a destination that earned the moniker Paradise, it's this one. Located in the mile-high south slopes of Mount Rainier, this wildflower meadow is the closest you'll get to a living postcard. Unsurprisingly, several of the park's most popular hikes are located in Paradise or at least run through it. But if you want to spend the night, the closest campground is 7 miles away. Peak flower season isn't until July, but Paradise is open year-round. Weather conditions sometimes close the roads, So check before you go and bring snow chains for your car, which are required through May 1st. Next is Tipsoo Lake in the North Cascades. Visiting Tipsoo Lake is as much about viewing Mount Rainier, which on a clear day is reflected perfectly in the water, as it is about looking at the actual lake itself. Both, of course, are beautiful, and the drive to Tipsoo Lake is equally so, if you take the Chinook Scenic Byway. The area around Tipsoo Lake arguably rivals paradise, so make sure to pack a lunch and stay a while. Next is one I visit quite often, Diablo Lake Overlook in Rockport. Diablo Lake is such a stunning shade of turquoise blue, it almost looks fake. The story behind the lake's unique hue is a geological one. Glacial dust, or flour, is suspended in the water from nearby glaciers, grinding up rocks into a fine powder. See for yourself by taking the trail up to the Diablo Lake Overlook, which will deliver the type of view that is almost impossible to capture in a photo. Once you're at the vista, keep following the trail for more views of various peaks in the North Cascades. Now, in the corner of the state, I have next Palouse Falls. Palouse Falls is the official waterfall of Washington State. At 198 feet, Palouse is the last remaining waterfall caused by glacial floods, which carved out the region during the last ice age. Take it all in via the 1-mile hike to the base or watch the flow of water from the overlook at the parking lot. You'll have a great view either way. Next, I have Lake Quinault in Olympic National Park. Perched just on the edge of the Olympic National Park is Lake Quinault, a glacial lake nestled in the National Forest. The spot is perfect for any and all lakeside activities, and though the historic Quinault Lodge has reopened, we recommend camping if you're going to spend the night. Regardless, the lake is positively picturesque and worth a visit. Next on my list is Deception Point on Whidbey Island and Fidalgo Island. Straddling Whidbey Island and Fidalgo Island, Deception Pass State Park is best seen at sunset, at which point you should find a spot on the bridge overlooking this saltwater canyon and simply witness the magic. During the day, take some time to hike a trail or two. There are 35 miles of them, so you'll be spoiled for choice, and explore the 14.6 miles of scenic shoreline. Next is Hoh Rain Forest in Olympic National Park. Hoh Rain Forest spans 10,000 acres alongside the Hoh River. This temperate rainforest is one of the largest of its kind in the United States. Pay a visit to witness the majesty of truly massive western hemlock trees, which just so happen to be the state's official tree. And of course, lots of other varieties, all of which are almost completely covered in hanging moss and ferns. Moving on, we have Rialto Beach in La Push. Let's kick things off with one of the most stunning beaches on the Olympic coast. You can't actually visit the village of La Push right now. The Quinault Native Reservation closed to visitors due to COVID-19. But Rialto is fair game, and this list wouldn't be complete without it. There's plenty of nature to see and photograph, and if you take the hole-in-the-wall hike along the coast, you'll end the day standing underneath the famous rock arch surrounded by tide pools. And last but not least, I have Snoqualmie Falls in Snoqualmie. Snoqualmie Falls hosts over 1.5 million visitors every year, making it one of the most popular destinations for witnessing Pacific Northwest natural wonders. That might be due in part to its Twin Peaks cameo, but most of the credit should go to the waterfall itself, which is 270 feet of awe-inspiring beauty. Visiting the park is free, and now that both the upper and lower observation decks have reopened, you'll have plenty to see and do within the 2-acre park. Well, that's my list. Do you agree or disagree? Do you have your own list? Well, share in the comments. Now it's time for Waypoints.
Waypoints. Waypoints will cover all aspects of navigation for the overland traveler. Navigation is the act or practicing of navigating, the method of determining position, course, and distance traveled.
On Waypoints this week, we discuss how to find free camping in national forests. There's nothing quite like waking up in a quiet forest that's sparkling with morning dew. The world is nearly silent, besides the birds and maybe some morning raindrops falling on your tent. If you camp there for free, the experience is even sweeter. This is dispersed camping in a national forest. Those who are willing to forego a few luxuries will find extra solitude and scarcely touched wilderness in our national forests, where you can often find free camping. Dispersed camping, as it's called, is legal camping in underdeveloped campsites, often just off of forest access roads. Dispersed camping in national forests requires a little more effort than pulling up to an established campground. Forest access roads aren't always easy to find, and you'll have to be willing to search for a good spot to park. But finding that perfect slice of wilderness to call home for the night is a truly special kind of camping. Dispersed camping in national forests is a great way to save money on your outdoor adventures. Similar to backpacking, you'll have to be self-contained because there are rarely toilets, sinks, or running water when dispersed camping. And you almost definitely won't have nearby neighbors. That being said, dispersed camping in national forests typically means parking at a primitive campsite or in a pull-off just off of a forest access road. So unlike backpacking, you'll have your car nearby and you won't have to hike too far to set up camp. If you're interested in exploring a wilder side to camping, this is a good first step. Dispersed camping in national forests might become your new favorite way to sleep outside. You might be asking, how do I know what is a national forest? Well, at first glance, national forests and national parks appear to be similar since they're both public, protected landscapes. However, there are a few differences to be aware of. First and foremost, they are managed by different government entities. National forests are managed by the Department of Agriculture. The USDA Forest Service is charged with upholding the mission of the national forest. National parks often have stricter rules about pets and dispersed camping. The national forests allow both pets and dispersed camping throughout most of their land holdings. So, what about BLM land? Well, BLM land, or the Bureau of Land Management, is an agency within the U.S. Department of the Interior. They support several different programs on their land holdings, including grazing, mining, and recreation. Since we're talking about camping, we're going to focus on the recreational holdings within the BLM land system. Most of the information about dispersed camping in national forests also applies to BLM land, but we'll be focusing on national forests. Where can you find free dispersed camping? Well, free camping or dispersed camping is allowed in all national forests unless noted otherwise. You can find places to camp on the side of main roads or follow forest access roads to more remote sites. These sites are available on a first-come, first-served basis and cannot be reserved in advance. The general rule is to camp 100 to 200 feet away from any road, trail, or water source. If a previous campsite is visible, using that site will minimize impact to the area. So what should you expect from dispersed campsites in national forests? Well, free camping in national forests or dispersed camping is about enjoying nature without all the fuss and clutter of amenities like toilets, showers, and fire pits. These amenities are great sometimes. We all love developed campgrounds, but dispersed camping is a different kind of camping experience. This means you need to arrive fully self-sufficient and prepared to clean up after yourself thoroughly. If you're in bear territory, remember that dispersed camping won't come with bear lockers. Bring outdoor-proof storage for your food and store food away from your camp. Since you're camping in a place that hasn't been altered for camping, it typically won't be as flat or clutter-free as traditional campsites. Now you have all this info, how do you find a dispersed campsite? Select an area of interest within the National Forest land and use Google Earth and satellite view to check your route for pull-offs. A great idea is to pick a trailhead and look nearby. A dirt pull-off or a small clearing in a forest is an indicator of an existing camp spot. Once you have an idea of where you'd like to camp, check with the local ranger station or any local camping or fire restrictions. Sometimes, especially during the off-season, forest access roads are closed, so check in advance to be sure that your route is clear. It's also extremely helpful to have a hard copy map of the national forest you want to camp in. These are difficult to find online, but you should be able to pick them up at local gas stations, grocery stores, and ranger stations once you reach your destination. Part of the beauty of dispersed camping is that it isn't advertised on big camp here signs. Finding your spot can take some work, even if you do some research. It's especially difficult to find unmarked camping spots in the dark, so leave yourself plenty of daylight to find your campsite and settle in. Now, let's talk camping responsibly in national forest. Many people are drawn to dispersed camping over developed campgrounds because it allows them to feel closer to nature, without the noise, distractions, and potential damage caused by other campers. It's our responsibility to maintain this untouched nature by treating it with respect. Make sure you can actually camp in the national forest area you plan to visit. Always check with local ranger stations in the area to see where you'll be traveling for any specific regulations. In drier areas, fire bans are typically the most common. Use a camping stove or fire pan rather than building a fire from surrounding resources. For fires, ensure you only use deadfall for firewood. Never cut and burn live trees or bring firewood from another area. Come equipped with a bucket, an axe, and a shovel for properly extinguishing fires. Don't create a new campsite if there's one already available. Be aware of any overnight permits and road conditions before heading out. Follow any laws and regulations regarding pets in these wild spaces. Keep your dog on a leash if required. Expect to pack out all of your trash and all of your waste. Do not camp within 200 feet from lakes and streams. Always bury human waste in a cat hole 6 inches deep and 200 feet away from any water source. Follow these guidelines for your pet as well. You should also read up on the USDA guidelines for dispersed camping in national forests. Well, that wraps up another episode of the podcast. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And with that, I want everybody to stay safe, tread lightly, and hopefully I'll see you here or on the trail soon.
You have been listening to Waypoint Overland's Random Waypoints. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.